Henri Matisse. Henri was born on the 31st of December 1869, which is New Year's Eve, in a small town in France called Le Cutouts. He was the oldest of 3 children and his parents were grain merchants who bought grain from farms and sold it on. Growing up, Matisse loved art and always dreamt of being an artist. However, as he got older, in 1887 he moved to Paris to study law and got a job in the court office. However, it wasn't what his heart desired. 1889, Matisse got appendicitis and had to go back home to get better. So his mother got him some art supplies whilst he was recovering. He started creating and painting, and it woke something up in him. He later described this feeling as a kind of paradise. This was it! He decided he wanted to become an artist. Against the wishes of his family, he left law school and moved to Paris to follow his passion for painting. In 1891, he returned to Paris and studied at the Académie Julian and the Fine Arts School, where he learned the techniques of classical art like still life and landscapes. However, he longed to express himself in a more unique way. In 1896, Matisse met the Australian painter John Russell. Russell introduced Matisse to Impressionism. Impressionism is an art movement that began in Paris by a group of artists. It is a special way of painting things using bright colours and quick brushstrokes to capture how something looked in a certain moment. They wanted to show how light and colour made things feel, so it's like a painting that gives you a feeling of a place or a moment. Matisse explored the works of Vincent van Gogh, who had been a friend of Russell. He even gave him a drawing by Van Gogh. Matisse felt extremely lucky. After this, Matisse's style changed dramatically. He tossed aside the dull earth-coloured paints for bright, bold and vibrant colours. In 1905, Henri and a group of artists showcased their paintings at an exhibition. The bright and bold colours in his work shocked the art world and earned the group the name Les Fauves, which means wild beasts. In 1917, Henri moved to Nice, in a city on the French Riviera. The warm climate and the vibrant colours of the Mediterranean inspired him, and he continued to create some magnificent artwork. Sadly, in 1941, Henri became really poorly. He had to stay in bed or in a wheelchair, and he wasn't able to paint. However, Henri was determined to keep creating, so he invented a new way of making art, called cutouts. He used scissors to cut colourful shapes from the paper, and then arranged them to make beautiful collages. Matisse believed that colours and shapes could communicate emotions and tell stories. He created with boldness and freedom, often using vivid blues, vibrant yellows and passionate reds. Matisse's art gained worldwide recognition, and he became one of the most celebrated artists of his time. People from all over the world admired his joyful and energetic artworks. Sadly, in 1954, Matisse passed away aged 84. His legacy still lives on, and his masterpieces are still admired by many. His life teaches us to follow our dreams, express ourselves with joy, and never be afraid to let our true colours shine. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe.